Okay, here we go. We are going to change the trigger on this guy, and then we are also going to change the springs on it. So let's start by checking it. Good to go. Hammer down. Let's just pop this guy off. There we go. So we're going to change this spring right here. Pretty easy. It hooks around the very front there, and then on the back I actually added a little clip so that way I'd have a slightly lighter trigger pull, but pretty straightforward. I'll probably just get a little clip, something. We'll just pop it off. So this, I'm also trying to do everything through the camera, so it's kind of bullshit. So what you can do to give yourself a little more room, you can push on this. It'll give you a tiny bit more room. And then, oops, that will get this guy off. So now you have the first piece out. And then now you just have to get this back one off. And usually you can just rotate it up like that and pops right off. And that's how that goes. And then go to put it back on. It'll be the same way you took it apart. So you'll see that groove. So let's get in there. Start with the front. And kind of let it stretch open a little. Pops right in. Now you got it there. Now let's go ahead and get this next one. See how this guy kind of fell down a little? No big deal. We will just hook them. So do the same thing, kind of push this over. Try to get this closer. This isn't going to be a pain in the ass. Oops. But there it goes. So you see it's off a little, so we'll just turn it in. Now we're there. Let's get in. So you can kind of see how that is. That function test. All that looks fucking perfect. Okay, so that's the first start. Next part, we have to get off the trigger. So I have this trigger. We're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna take it off and put it back on. This is the Freedom Smith, and that's what most people are putting on. So there it is. So basically, this is the Canik tool that comes with it, and it has like a little step in it. And so first step to taking this off, you open this up. See that little wire right there? We're gonna take that wire and we're gonna, oops, just gonna flip it up off of there. Once you flip that, just push down. See, you'll have, this is like your little grip thing. This is your release, and this is your slide release. And then see there's like a little cross there, and just push in the center. And nothing's happening. Let's try pushing again. Nothing happened. So basically we're trying to get this guy off here. But yeah, maybe I just had to lift him up just a tiny bit. And see, he comes right out. So boom. So now he's out. And now look at the trigger. The trigger's down, it's off. You can kind of control it with this. This guy you can either leave on or take off. You want to take him off, you rotate it all the way, put him back on, rotate down. Pretty easy. So he might just be in the way. Clean in here while we're here, so it doesn't look like total dog shit. So yeah. So anyways, this is the trigger bar So you might have to manipulate this a little bit to do some work. I have a little block here, like your standard gunsmith block. So I just put them down in the groove. The trigger's semi-supported, not totally supported. And then basically this hole right here, this is the connection from the trigger bar to the trigger. The trigger's already fully loose because we took out this piece. So now we just have that. And if you're worried about scraping anything up, put some paper towels down. I mean, all the finishes are relatively durable, but just put some paper towel down and then go ahead and push this out. You'll feel it come out a little, but this is preventing it from going out anymore. So maybe you want to get them kind of off a little bit. Push down until you get to the step, and it won't go any further. Oops. It won't go any further because of the step in this. Anyways, now at that point, you should be able to pull back on this, manipulate it, trigger came off. So I didn't have to take off any of this other stuff. So right here, this guy's kind of floating a little bit. Let's see, kind of show what it looks like in there. And so that guy's all floating. He won't fall out, but see back here, it'll kind of get moved around. So actually it might make more sense to take the trigger off first, and then you can take this guy off afterwards. But really, however you want to do it. I kind of like leaving the spring on it, so that way this kind of stays captured the whole time. Okay, so this is what you got. This is what you're left with. So now you'll get your new trigger. So I believe it comes with this cotter pin right here. So what you want to do is you want to push that cotter pin in, but leave it out about that much. And we want to make sure, let me see if I can get like a light. Yeah, so see how there's a nice little gap in there? So the pin is basically right up to the point before the gap. So that way we'll be able to put it in place, and then all we have to do is just push the pin the last little bit to engage it. So pretty easy. I mean, once you get in there, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So basically, yeah, I'll grab this. I'm gonna, with this finger, I'm gonna push against here so I have like somewhat of a stable platform. And then I will snake in the Freedom Smith trigger. And then you'll see it pretty much aligned. So it's pretty much aligned there. If you can see it, might be off a little bit. And then, I mean, mine's pretty easy to push. I might even be able to push it with my finger on the back side, or just turn it over. Once you're there, give it just a little push. So I think I started it. I'm still off a little. So let's realign it a little better. Yeah, that was a little shitty. Okay, I'm back. Anyways, what I did, I just kind of manipulated it on the back side. I pushed down with the back of the punch, and then it went in. Right now it's flush, but you need it to go in just a tiny bit more. And so kind of get in here, give it another little light squeeze, and that kind of centers it. So now we're still floating, but it's in. So all we have to do now is just line up our hole here, right? And then once that's lined up, well, first let's put our other one in. Clocks from the top, rotate down. The other one just comes in the back. Let's look at it. So we'll get to this point. Maybe keep a finger on here, make sure it doesn't push out. So try to give you as much light as possible. And push it in, goes in. Now we just have this little clip. And just rotate it over the top. That's it. Now we're in. Trigger, good to go. Good to go. I might put like a little bit of oil in there, but for the most part, good. Slap this baby back on.